Hello everyone, Xeno What If here. Here to bring in part 6 of What If Military was in Cross Ange. Link down description of the fanfiction of this What If. Listen here YouTube. I do not own anything and this is not a scam. Francois' betrayal, troubles and Jill reveals herself. Paris Imperial Palace. Francois, who was using his mana hologram body, started coming towards the Emperor Lowenhers in his break room, and he saw another Gallian general who was asleep, but when Francois was about to enter, the general woke up and started to approach Francois. Gallian General 8 His Majesty, when you talk to him, he will certainly answer the question of whether we should stay or escort his family and flee to Benoit. You're going to persuade him to leave, right? Brigadier General Francois, he listened to you. But Francois was silent and did not answer any questions from this general. Gallian General 8 Convince His Majesty, Francois. If he does not leave Paris, it's over. The OFN will break our necks. Without saying anything, Francois went into the Emperor's break room. Emperor Lowenhers. Oh, Francois, you came. Brigadier General Francois, Your Majesty, I. Emperor Lowenhers, it's okay. Let's sit down. Then they both sat down on their chairs and the Emperor Lowenhers appeared like have many things in his minds that made him worry. Emperor Lowenhers, I had great plans for our war with OFN. Nobody understood me, not even my old brothers in arms. The opportunity we had, the whole plan was ours for the taking, too late. I can openly fighting the Normas, and send them to Arsenal to fighting some dragon. The situation at that time was quiet, because all the troops prepared defenses to block the OFN troops who were going to enter Paris. Emperor Lowenhers, I don't find it hard to continue. One brief moment, sighing and then eternal peace. Brigadier General Francois, but please spare the Norma for this time, Your Majesty. Emperor Lowenhers, if the Norma get spared, they gonna ravage our social system. I won't let that happen. They get what they deserve. They are not considered as human, because they not accept mana as part of them. Then, Francois spoke with a heavy heart because he had something to say. Brigadier General Francois, for years, for months. I have to tell you this, for years and for months I have disobeyed your orders to treating Norma badly. I not only ignores your orders, but even acted against them. I had to tell you. Then with a sad face knowing that the enemy would be approaching the capital, he didn't show a surprised face or anything. Brigadier General Francois, this never compromised my personal loyalty to you. I always swore my loyalty to late Princess Electra. Then Brigadier General Francois rose from his seat and prepared to leave for good. Emperor Lowenhers, so you're leaving, as a traitor. Good. Goodbye. Brigadier General Francois, I wish you all the best and take your own responsibility. I'm out from here. And Francois' mana hologram body disappeared, and this convinced Emperor Lowenhers that Brigadier General Francois chose to side with Norma and OFN. Back to Periro. The battle ended with the surrender of the Gallic troops guarding the governor's office building and allowing the combined US and Free French of OFN forces to control the half of the Periro city. Cuck. Stormed now. Free French troops stormed the inside of the governor's office building, then they broke down the door of the building and pushed their way inside. Inside the governor office building, after the Free French troops pushed in, they encountered no resistance from any side, and there were no guards guarding the inside of the building. Then they checked many rooms and found that the rooms contained Gallian civilians who had taken refuge in the building. Free French Soldier 6 Oh gosh, what we got here. Free French Soldier 27 Jackpot man. Free French Soldier 17 Another civilians to get punished. Cuck. Well, I hope they will understand of our power. Show courage, show strength, show pride, but show no mercy. Drag them out. They heard a loud bang from outside and it caught their attention. Cuck. What was that? Gosso. Less than greater than. Cuck. Fuck, what we do now? Jill. It's okay, General. I can handle one man. Drag one to broadcast me to entire Gallia Empire. Free French Soldier 3 alright. We taken now. Drag one man. Gallian people 8 wait. Let me go you monster. Everyone was frightened by what the OFN troops were doing, they dragged people while grabbing his hair. Free French Soldier 19 hash, so what now? Question mark question mark question mark. 7. You monster. You should to be exist. They were shocked because someone was shouting at them. Free French Soldier 27 hash, who the hell is that? Show your face, bitch. Then they pushed their way through the terrified townspeople of Periro, and then after making sure the sound was nearby, as they approached the area, an unfriendly welcome came with one of the Free French soldiers being slashed with a knife, but only a small cut in the face. Free French Soldier 27 hash, shit. My face. Then he saw two people running away from the crowd, and that was also known by General Cuck. Cuck. Wow. Do not run. To his troops, catch them kids. In the lobby room, there were two people running from the Free French troops, and one was a boy and the other a girl. They were almost out of the lobby. Free French Soldier 27 hash, stop. Shot his famous F1. When the Free French troops fired, the bullet hit the man's leg and fell. Question mark question mark question mark. 9. Arg. Shit. My leg. Question mark question mark question mark. 7. Philip. Are you alright? Question mark question mark question mark. 9. I'm okay. Go to the exit. Leica. Safe yourself. When this woman named Leica was about to flee to the exit, US troops entered and blocked her path. US Soldier 37 hash, freeze. US Soldier 21 hash, hands in the air. When Leica was about to try to run, she accidentally fell because she saw someone enter the lobby, and that person was a US general, who was smoke his cigarette, and she walked backwards, and that US general are approaching this couple. Philip, no picture, use your imagination. Philip. Oh. And several Free French troops and General Cuck came, and General Cuck immediately greeted the US general. Cuck. Ah. General Piers, how coincidence, how are you? I'm good, you? General William R. Piers. Piers. I'm good enough, I'm here just to take a walk. Piers saw the cut on the face of one of the Free French soldiers and started asking questions. Piers. Did two little galleon brats do that to you, buddy? Leica. I'm not in galleons. Piers ordered his men to quiet Leica, and one of the US troops hit Leica in the face and fell to the floor. Cuck. One of my men got a scratch on his face and was chasing these two little brats. Luckily you guys came and stopped them. Piers. I see. Free French Soldier 27 hash, we should execute many Mana people on sight. This war has dragged on long enough. Piers. You must remember, my friend. This war was started as a liberation, not a competition. For a better world of Mana, we must reach their goals and minds. Philip. Some of World of Mana people don't want your leader's vision of our worlds. You invade our home. You invade our world, just want to save those miserable monster. Piers. Intimidating, you're running low on your sanity. You're desperate, taking risks, and overextending yourself. Head closing to Leica and Philip the First don't care what you want. However, I want to see an end of this world war as much as you do. Denounce the Mana Society fanatics and defect to us, I'm sure you and your girlfriend will be pardoned. Help me to save many Norma in this world to make a better world without prejudice and hate. Philip. Defect to the enemy to save those monster is very unacceptable. Piers then averted his face and began to be disappointed. Piers. Yes, the words of your thoughts, unhonorable, but senseless. Philip. No matter what you try, you will never be able to liberate the Normas in this world because they basically don't have the right to be free. Free French Soldier 27 hash, such disrespect. This brat is insult you with his shitty words. Cuck. Back on the line, soldier. Free French Soldier 27 hash, you are the United States Army General, the general from strongest nation on the earth. And yet they defy you and your country. Such trespass cannot be allowed. Piers. To Leica and you. Leica. I'm just trying to survive. And by the way, I was a Misarugians that from Empire of Misarugi. Piers. So, a foreigner then. Afraid to choose a decision. At least your boyfriend wears his allegiance to keep Norma get discriminated and considered as antisocial monsters. Then Piers started talking to Cuck. Piers. Execute the boy. Cuck. Piers. Make sure the girl will suffer a deep PTSD and make sure her mental will goes breakdown. Free French Soldier 27 hash, with pleasure. Cuck. Bring the boy. Philip was dragged away and then Leica was also forced to see the execution right in front of her. Then Cuck took out a handgun from his pocket and then put it on Philip's head. Cuck. Say goodbye, I hope your life will be more suffer in hell. Piers only looked at this with a sense of innocence. Leica. No. Let him go. Let him go. Free French soldier 23 #. You had do many crimes against humanity in this world and live in Norma Bloods. Now we show you a true horror of war, you bitch. Then not long after, Cuck pulled the trigger of his gun and shot Philip in the head. Leica. No. You killed him, you monsters. Free French soldier 27 #. You are the real monster. You acting like you are the victims. This is your punishment because see Norma as a inferior minority. It doesn't matter that you blame them in some cases and you just say they are Norma who are the antisocial monsters. You have lived in the eternal peace that you created from the blood of innocent Normas. Free French soldier 29 #. Just so you know, you've never seen a war right. That's precisely what we show what war really is. And we know the Mana society will not allow us to make peace with Norma and the one last solutions that left is only war. Cuck. Shaw had no business with us. Dump her to where as she belongs. Free French soldier 21 #. What does that mean? Cuck. I mean, dump this woman directly to her country. Don't think we're going to send her to hell, you idiot. Free French soldier 21 #. Sorry, General. Free French soldier 26 #. Okay. Search the dead body, who knows if there are items that can be used for souvenirs when we return home. And the troops searched Philip's body to see if there was anything to take home as a souvenirs. Free French soldier 25 #. Man. I'd love to do war crime again after it was legalized in this world. Free French soldier 23 #. Screw with Geneva Convention, the point is we can do many things in this world, as far we never rape someone. Free French soldier 27 #. We don't rape women in this world because we are disgusted by the rotten attitude of those who like to discriminate against minorities who are considered monsters. It's the same for descendants who will have this attitude. Free French soldier 21 #. Whoa. What I found here. Show a ring. Whoa. A ring. Wait. This ring is imitation, dog. Free French soldier 24 #. What are these couple gonna do? Get married. Free French soldier 29 #. No, they probably just wanted to pretend they were a married couple. Free French soldier 22 #. Such a romantic relationship, but it was end tragically laugh. Free French soldier 26 #. A Gallians and a Misserugians, same like French and Japanese, but her name is very Russian. Free French soldier 24 #. Well, dude, we're done in here. Meanwhile at the governor office room. Jill is ready to go public, and show the truth despite the unfriendly criticism. Jill, are we ready? Free French soldier 12 #. We're ready. Do it you asshole. Gallian people 8 #. Okay. Okay. Use his Mana broadcast network. Free French soldier 11 #. We gonna live in 3, 2, 1, action. After the broadcast was broadcast, Jill started to speak. Jill. Good afternoon, Gallian people, I. General Jill, from the Free French Forces along with United States Army and formed a joint forces of OFN. As you need to know, the Emperor Lowenhers was a big liar. I know he lies about the death of his precious daughter, First Princess Electra von Lowenhers. The reality is, the First Princess Electra von Lowenhers is not fed by illness, because she discovered as a Norma. The person who broadcast Jill's speech was very surprised, that in front of her was the first princess of the empire who had supposedly died due to illness. It turns out that the Princess Electra herself is Norma. Gallian people 8 #. No way. Jill. My father covered up my true identity and exiled me, saying she died because of an illness, in order for the Gallia Empire to save face. He was a jerk, an old jerkass. Thanks to him I was able to launch a revolt many years ago when I was young. Yes. I was the woman who announced Libertas, a Norma revolution against the world of Mana. Your old beloved princess, Electra von Lowenhers. Meanwhile at Paris Imperial Palace. Emperor Lowenhers was shocked and several of his military officials were discussing. Emperor Lowenhers was surprised because his daughter returned but joined the enemy troops. Gallian military officer 6 #. And no way. Gallian military officer 12 #. Is she? First Princess Electra von Lowenhers. Galleon General 11 hash. I thought she was dead. Emperor Lowenhers. She was. But she was a Norma. Galleon General 7 hash. Why you covered this, your majesty? Emperor Lowenhers. Because. Jill. Less than greater than. Back at Periro, Governor Office Building. Jill. I'm not alone now. I joined the Free France Forces. The member state of OFN. These OFN proves that they are the next evolution of Norma. The new Norma was a prove that they can broke light of mana easily, physically or directly and through intermediaries or indirectly. And now, the OFN and GEACPS agencies such like CIA, MI6, DGSE, and IJIA, Imperial Japanese Intelligence Agency, have infiltrated many countries in this world. They usually disguise themselves as anyone and carry out secret missions without you knowing. Meanwhile at Kingdom of Rosenbloom. At the airport, King Rosenbloom, who was welcoming the arrival of the King and Queen of the Velda dynasty and also Secretary General of Marmaria who took refuge in Rosenbloom, was shocked by the revelation they accidentally watched. King Rosenbloom. No way. King of Velda. We've all been infiltrated all this time. Jill. Less than greater than. Secretary General of Marmaria. What? So she just want us to blame each other. Queen of Velda. This is totally insane. Meanwhile at Empire of Misarugi. Emperor Jirai also saw this broadcast and didn't react in the slightest. Jill. Less than greater than. Back at Periro, Governor Office Building. Jill. I am currently in Periro, and we will be advancing on the capital, while my father will be putting up a defense that will probably be impenetrable, but I can make them mentally weak and immediately surrender. What plan shall I launch? That's what you don't need to know. For the freedom of all Norma in this rotten and deceitful world, I declare a war of liberation against Mana World. Till or all one. Then the live broadcast stopped, and then Jill took her revolver and then shot the man in the head because he knew too much. Jill. Clean his body. Free French Soldier 11 hash. Yes, ma'am. Question mark. 1. Hold it right there. Then they saw someone. To Jill, that person was not a stranger to her eyes. Jill. Brigadier General Francois. Why you are in here? Brigadier General Francois. I was here a few minutes ago. I chose to surrender rather than fight to the death. Jill. So you choose to give this city to me? Brigadier General Francois. Yes, I will give this city to you. During my life, I have always served and loyal to you. Princess Electra bows. Jill. Good to see you again, Francois. You really a brave old man. Brigadier General Francois. Thank you, Your Highness. Jill. Enough with that, call K by name Jill. Brigadier General Francois. As for me, I always call yourself in your original name. Jill. Nukem. After the broadcast, Jill came out of the building smoking a cigarette, and saw Free French troops shooting several civilians who didn't want to cooperate, aka defected to OFN. Jill. You got what you deserve, you lazy swine. Napoleon. Hey, how it's going? Jill. Well, everything is okay. You name is Louis Napoleon, right? I mean, your original name is Louis Jérôme Victor Emmanuel Leopold Marie, right? You are the head of House of Bonaparte. Your ancestor is Napoleon Bonaparte, the greatest emperor of France and good strategist during the Napoleonic War. Napoleon. Yes, is it? Piers. Calling from United States for you. Jill. Takes the satellite phone and answering the call. Hello. Johnson. Less than greater than. Jill. Why would someone like the Vice President of America call me? Johnson. Less than greater than. Jill. Great, why didn't the President just order the nukes to be fired? Johnson. Less than greater than. Jill. I know too, Nannels and Chalukin. These two cities are the most populous cities that I know. Each city has a population of 3 to 6 million people. Johnson. Less than greater than. Jill. Huh. Johnson. Less than greater than. Jill. How many time they had? Johnson. Less than greater than. Jill. We don't have time, we need to make sure the forces around the capital is loosened because the psychical effect of the nuclear weapons. Johnson. Less than greater than. Jill. Damn it. Alright. I waiting. Hung up the satellite phone. Piers. How are the results? Jill. There's still a lot of Norma to evacuate, and I can't give the order to fire a nuke because of this. Piers. Oh, I see. Operation Greenlight has been implemented. Jill. What? Napoleon. Operation Greenlight. What the hell is that? Gasso. You better told us from the start. Piers. Operation Greenlight was a top-secret plan that using nuclear weapons to targeting every major world of Mana country's important city is an ultimate endgame to a Mana society. The operation was authorized by President Kennedy. Napoleon. What? Jill. What is Mr. President thinking right now? Gasso. That planned a few days ago. Piers. Yes. It was been planned. For this case is only the first phase. With the use of nuclear weapons for the first time in this world, we can give a psychological effect to everyone in this world. So that the more people die, the more people beg for their lives. Cuck. Isn't that a bit too much? Napoleon. It seems that the US wants to create mass panic, and what is perhaps more genius, the US wants to create mistrust between the Mana society and the government itself. Most likely there will be a massive demonstration. Piers. What do you think? Genius. No. Gasso. We making genocide in this world, many millions people die because their rotten attitude. Jill. They deserve what they get. They had treated Norma badly. I have failed. And now I don't want to lose this opportunity to freeing all Normas. This time the Norma will fought back. I don't care how many Mana people died. Because embryo really programmed them to hate towards Norma. Piers. Who is this embryo? Oh never mind, I know that jerk. By the way, he found dead in his secret mansion. Jill. What? Who tell you? Piers. The CIA told me, he found dead with his own knife. We assume that he killed himself by slitting his throat. But the bad news is, his personal Rogna mail, Hysterica, is missing. The CIA report in the field that his Rogna mail moves by its own and run to the nowhere. Gasso. Wait, hold on. Did Jill ever told us that the god that she mentioned is him, right? Cuck. Yeah, Napoleon. We know. Gasso. And his Hysterica is moves by its own, right? No pilots. Piers. Yes. Gasso. That exactly what I mean. You think what I think. Cuck. Yes. Oh my gosh. Napoleon. If he really the creator of this world, then he killed himself, and his soul was transferred to his Hysterica and, oh shit. He planning something bad now. Gasso. Yeah, he transferring his own body to his Hysterica, because his Hysterica is it his original body. Jill. Then his body. Napoleon. The body in this world is just a container to keep an eye on the development of this world. Gasso. Am I right? That exactly I was mean, guys. Piers. This is bad. With his Hysterica and his ability to go to other dimensions, I'm sure he planning something bad, now. Then the satellite phone rang and Jill give to Piers answered it. Piers. Hello. USB 52 pilot 12 hash, less than greater than. Piers. I gave that to my friend, to Jill while give his satellite phone Jill. Jill. What? Piers. Norma's population and their families who are still loyal to them have been evacuated, now we are clear to fire nuclear weapons. Napoleon. Jill, this is your chance, they hit you hard, now you hit them harder. Gasso. Show those bastards they're dealing with the wrong nation. Cuck. You can do it. Brigadier General Francois. Sigh Jill. Nuke 'em. Don't worry, I helped to broadcasting the destruction of Nanals and Chalukin. Jill. Thank you. Answer the phone. Fat man, little boy, both of you clear to launch the nukes. USB 52 pilot 12 hash, less than greater than. Then with the help of Brigadier General Francois, he started his live broadcast and showed it all over the world of Mana, including this country itself. Meanwhile at Nanals and Chalukin, the city situation was good and it appeared that a USB 52 was flying and then its bomb hatch opened and then the ALCM rolled out after being brought down and then the B-52 turned around and left. 0-100 to 0-58. Since the broadcast had resumed, now everyone from all over Mana world was watching the broadcast, from the civilians to the government. They saw something, a missile aimed at the towns of Nanals and Chalukin, and then something surprising happened. The missile hit the city and 059 to 139. An explosion that formed a mushroom cloud destroyed the city with a population of 3 to 6 million, the two missiles detonating Nanals and Chalukin respectively. The people watching this broadcast were shocked to death by how powerful this weapon was to destroy an entire city. Parisi Imperial Palace. Emperor Lowenhers and several other military officials were also shocked to see this broadcast. Now OFN really stood by their stance and burned the cities of Nanals and Chalukin. Emperor Lowenhers, impossible. Galleon Military Officer 5 #, Your Majesty. Nanals and Chalukin is completely destroyed. Galleon General 5 #, what a nightmarish weapon. Meanwhile at outskirts of Nanals. The Galleon troops on the outskirts of the city were shocked by the shock wave from the nuclear explosion, and they were shocked because the explosion was so strong that it shook the ground. Galleon Soldier 36 #, shit. This is not a war anymore. What happened to the world? Meanwhile in Kingdom of Rosenbloom. Again, King Rosenbloom and along with the King and Queen of the Velda dynasty and the Secretary General of Marmaria who were discussing about the raging war, were shocked by this. King Rosenbloom. No way. King of Velda, the OFN. They've gone too far. Secretary General of Marmaria, this is outrageous. Did the OFN just exploded the entire city? What kind of warhead is that? Queen of Velda, if you look at the explosion, the warhead's explosion is the equivalent of 150 kilotons of TNT. King of Velda, that's why the power of this warhead is enough to destroy the entire city in a single strike. Secretary General of Marmaria, one warhead, more powerful than a whole fleet of strategic bombers. Damn that President Kennedy, how could he make such a nightmarish weapon? King Rosenbloom, damn it, we're doomed. Meanwhile at Mitsurugi Empire. Emperor Jirai, who was busy with several state and military officials, was shocked by what they saw, that 2 missiles with large warheads destroyed 2 cities at once. Mitsurugi General 6 #, what the? Mitsurugi General 2 #, the OFN. They cannot be forgiven. Mitsurugi Air Force General 12 #, I've served 32 years and I've never seen anything like this, what a terrible weapon. Mitsurugi Admiral 23 #, Your Majesty. We have to join the war and help the Gallia Empire to fight the OFN troops. Emperor Jirai, it's too risky right now. We don't know who are we dealing with. State Official 6 #, Your Majesty. We need to act to this thing. We cannot sitting duck in here. Emperor Jirai, I told you, it's too risky. State Official 12 #, Your Excellency. We, Enderant and Rosenbloom are the last people left in this world. Only 2 things will happen, we fight or be invaded. Emperor Jirai could only think that what OFN was doing was wrong, but there was some truth to it, and he was currently in a dilemma. Emperor Jirai, thought I hope this war will not waste a time. I need to figure out how to make a secret connection with the OFN. World of Mana leaders discussion in a coup d'etat, then Gallia become federation. In the next day, Mana virtual meeting room. King Rosenbloom, what we gonna do? Emperor Lowenhers, damn those OFN. He dropped sun from the skies and destroy my 2 city. King of Velda, we need to launch a counterattack ASAP. We combined our forces and attack to the 3rd and 4th continent. I will show those OFN and GEACPS to show who is powerful in here. Queen of Velda, but that too risky, dear. King Rosenbloom, we cannot do that. Emperor Lowenhers, if we do that, one by one my city will be destroyed. While they were arguing, President of Enderant Union pounded the table. President of Enderant, I already told you guys. Their gazes fell on President of Enderant, who had a disappointed face. President of Enderant, it's useless. The new Norma is no a worthy opponent of us. There's no way out to win. Secretary General of Marmaria, stupid. What supports your stance that we can't win? President of Enderant, I told you the new norm exists. And that's the proof. Those OFN and GEACPS troops from the 3rd and 4th continents is an evolutionary continuation of Norma itself. Did you see that they could break Light of Mana easily without touching it? The only way to avoid more casualties is to make peace with them. Emperor Lowenhers, they don't want peace with us. President of Enderant, that's why we must obey what they want. Secretary General of Marmaria, are you crazy? Does that mean you want to defect and leave the council? President of Enderant, I'd rather shoot myself. My decision is irrevocable. King of Velda, so if the OFN or GEACPS attacked your country, that's what you would do. President of Enderant, for the sake of my people who don't want to die because they are victims of war, I'd rather just kill myself than have to give orders to fight. Emperor Jirai, Lowenhers, I know that you are desperate to win the war in your country where the enemy is only 7 kilometers from Paris Sea, but can your troops withdraw immediately to protect your capital? Emperor Lowenhers, there was no point to withdrawing my troops, they were in a state of shock as most of their families lived in both cities which were burnt to the ground by the OFN, maybe it's time I ran off to Rosenblum. King Rosenblum, you think you can leave your country? You still have a chance to fight back. Emperor Lowenhers, it had to be done because Paris might become the next target to be burned to the ground. Emperor Jirai, so you're assuming that you don't have any confidence in winning. Have you all gone insane? King of Velda, yes, how do you want to win? My son has been captured, I can't do anything, so don't force me and my wife to do anything. That's enough. President of Enderant, enough. Let us surrender. If we offer ourselves, OFN and GEACPS will not waging a war with us. King Rosenblum, are you crazy? If they refuse to do that then they will continue waging war to us. President of Enderant, we can't make ourselves to win this war. I can't even criticize President Kennedy. I couldn't stand to see many innocent people die because of Norma. Let's end it all. Secretary General of Marmaria, so you choose to lay down your life if they attack your country. President of Enderant, why? One bullet can change the course of war. If I ended early, I wouldn't feel the sense of hopelessness for all of it. If I die, I show you the truth about the fact of the new Norma. I swear. Emperor Jirai, alright, let's end this discussion. Secretary General of Marmaria, before that, is really your former daughter say the other countries had been infiltrated by the OFN and GEACPS spies? Emperor Lowenhers, I never trust a Norma, so I think she was bluffing and talk about nonsense. Let's tell people that the time she talk about we have been infiltrated by the spy is a hoax. Meanwhile, somewhere in Paris, inside a building, in an office to be exact, a field marshal of the Gallia Empire was sitting looking at some reports from the field. Field Marshal Raphael, no picture, use your imagination. Field Marshal Raphael, any news? Raphael Loyalist 12 #, a report from the field. Field Marshal Raphael, read it. Raphael Loyalist 11 #, first, Arthur's vanguard is stuck south of Dillenmold, near border of city of Periro. Second, the 12th Army cannot continue the attack in Periro anymore. Third, the 9th Army is completely surrounded. Raphael Loyalist 9 #, Marshal, we need instructions in case the last ammunition reserves are exhausted and withdrew the 12th Army and 15th Army to defend the capital. Field Marshal Raphael, this is sucks. The OFN is weakening us. Not only them, but the government is too late to respond the enemy attack on Nanels and Chalukin. Raphael Loyalist 1 #, Marshal, this is our chance, we need secure the capital to reinforce our forces. With that, we can launch a counterattack against the OFN. Raphael Loyalist 17 #, OFN continued to bomb major cities with what they called bombers. Because of this, many victims fell because of bomb attacks from the air. Field Marshal Raphael, something had to be done. Let's go now. Paris Imperial Palace. Galleon General 5 #, yes, that's right, Your Majesty. The injuries received by the survivors of the destructive missile attack were varied, including rare diseases such as cancer, which can be cured, but can only eliminate the negative effects. The rest are like damaged skin tissue and high burn that can't be cured. Galleon Military Officer 17 #, and there is an after-effect explosion that contains harmful substances that are invisible but the effects are painful. This substance must not come in direct contact with human skin, or else it will be exposed to what the OFN people call nuclear radiation. Galleon Military Officer 12 #, so we had to quarantine the areas of the cities of Nanels and Chalukin which were affected by that mushroom explosion. And also we separate the survivors who were exposed to this nuclear radiation in the quarantine room and trying to heal them. Emperor Lowenhers, was there a survivor but then died? Galleon General 11 #, many, Your Majesty, very many died because they could not withstand the effects of this nuclear radiation. Emperor Lowenhers, take me there, I will only see from a distance. Has my family been secured? Galleon Military Officer 12 #, yes, Your Majesty, they have been evacuated to Kingdom of Rosenblum. Then Emperor Lowenhers left with the prepared VTOL, and after the VTOL moved away from the capital, Raphael's men went into action. Meanwhile at the Periro, Napoleon. Alright, the OFN troops have advanced from this city towards the capital Parissi. Maybe the Parissi have been put up with strong defenses, but OFN has realized that there is one weak point. Gasso. What kind of weak point? Napoleon. We need a sabot rounds, then fire it into the middle of the town square and then boom. The spark will emit a burst of fire. Cuck. What is the relation? Napoleon. Under the Parissi town square, there is an explosive gas cylinder, so if it is hit by a sabot round, it will issue a chain of explosions that will blow up all the gas in several districts on Parissi. Jill. Is there any problem for that? Napoleon. No. There's no problem with that. And then Francois come to them with a hurry. Brigadier General Francois. You all need to see this. Use his mono-holographic screen. After the screen was turned on, a live broadcast was being broadcast from the Imperial Palace Parissi, whereupon a man stood in front of the podium and ready to started to begin his speech. Jill. Is that Brigadier General Francois? Yes, it's Field Marshal Raphael, the Minister of Defense of Gallia Empire. Field Marshal Raphael, less than greater than. Cuck. Dang it. Gasso. This is a coup. Field Marshal Raphael, less than greater than. Meanwhile on quarantine zone of Nanels. Emperor Lowenhers, who saw this, felt angry, because he had been betrayed twice and two different reasons. Emperor Lowenhers, you betrayed me, Raphael. Field Marshal Raphael, less than greater than. Meanwhile at FFNF Charles de Gaulle R100 bridge deck. This broadcast wasn't shown to the people of Mana in Gallia, but also to the OFN party that was made to bluff. Field Marshal Raphael, less than greater than. Charles de Gaulle crew 6 hash, facepalm most inferior. Admiral Elie Grelot. Grelot, I think they have been lost their minds. Field Marshal Raphael, less than greater than. In Parissi Imperial Palace, speech room. Field Marshal Raphael, countrymen. To keep our homeland from being swallowed by the darkness of destruction again, so that mothers will not be forced to suffer the deaths of their sons and daughters. Let us being back a stronger empire. The Gallian military officials who heard this speech immediately changed their minds about the imperial government's incompetence against the OFN to the point where 2 cities were destroyed in an instant. Field Marshal Raphael, but we must never forget. When imperial government lead this country for a whole year until now before the Great War, but when the Great War had started, the invading forces of OFN invade homeland. And during this war, those monsters not only bombarded our cities, but also launch a so-called nuclear missile and massacre countless civilians. We have been completely crippled from our mental awareness, and along with my will, that will create the patriotic ideal state. All of the Gallian army agreed with his new thinking that would change the history of the Gallia Empire forever. Field Marshal Raphael. And now, we must focus our effort to liberate our homeland that was invaded by the OFN forces. Therefore, as the true government that ruled the Gallia, I declare the founding of the Gallia Federation. For the homeland. All Raphael loyalist. For the homeland. And this is the end of part 6 of this What If. I hope you guys like it. Don't really leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel.